Hello, welcome to the morning news. Egyptian security forces detained two airport workers linked to the Madrid airplane crash in late October. The two men would have helped the terrorists carrying the bomb despite custom controls in the Sharm el-Sheikh airport. Egyptian officials further revealed that 17 other people were detained for possible links to the attack. The detention scammers, Russian authorities revealed earlier this morning that the Madrid airplane was blown up using a homemade bomb with equivalent of 1 kilogram of TNT. After weeks of investigations, the Russian authorities confirmed traces of explosive material were found in the debris. The Russian government issued a bond of $50 million for information regarding those responsible for the attack. President Vladimir Putin vowed to find those involved in planning and causing the tragedy that killed over 200 people.
We should not apply any time limits. We should know them all by name. We will search for them everywhere, wherever they are hiding. We will find them in any spot on the planet and punish them.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro accused the right-wing opposition of orchestrating a national blackout. The head of state made the accusation after a blackout affected all of Caracas for several hours. According to Venezuelan authorities, 5 people died while trying to cut electric wiring. President Maduro said the far-right would be planning to sabotage the upcoming parliamentary elections by cutting electricity throughout the country on December the 6th. And the head of Venezuela's National Assembly, Gustavo Cabello, said the detention of two nephews of First Lady Celia Flores in Haiti last week was an abduction. According to Cabello, the two young men were singled out by U.S. authorities. The official says it's not an isolated incident.
The aim was to hurt the Bolivarian revolution at this time in the middle of an election.
Meanwhile, in neighboring Colombia, the ELN guerrillas liberated two soldiers captured during the clashes in the province of Boyacá. The soldiers were handed over to a representative from the Red Cross and the Catholic Church, of which helped mediate the liberation. The ELN is the second largest rebel group in Colombia after the FARC. The move comes as the ELN is urging the Colombian government to negotiate a peace agreement with them, similar to the one being held with the FARC guerrillas in Havana. The decision to allow recreation marijuana use by Mexican Constitutional Court earlier this month has generated a widespread debate. The local government of Mexico City has announced it will allow medicinal use of marijuana under its jurisdiction. Meanwhile, the Senate is still debating the issue. In the coming days, the Senate will hold public hearings with groups both for and against legalization. French President François Hollande announced that he will seek a package of constitutional amendments to acquire more powers to fight terrorism. The president wants to extend the national state of emergency declared last week to up to 3 more months. Furthermore, the amendments would allow the government to strip the French nationality from terrorist suspects. The set of amendments will be voted by the end of this week. And U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is visiting the French capital to discuss further cooperation with France in the fight against the Islamic State group. Kerry met with President François Hollande and both agreed that efforts to put more pressure on the terrorist group should double. World leaders are arriving at the Philippines to attend the APEC summit. President Barack Obama arrived early this Tuesday. The leaders of over 20 nations will gather in Manila to discuss common economic policies. However, the recently revealed Trans-Pacific Partnership is likely to dominate the agenda. Protesters are getting ready to stage demonstrations amid tightened security measures. Dozens of Bolivia's native languages are in danger of disappearing. Experts and indigenous communities are carrying out efforts to save them. With more on this story, Dmitry O'Donnell reports from La Paz.
There are 36 native languages in Bolivia that have been spoken by people for centuries. But many of these are now at risk of being lost forever because there are so few speakers able to pass them on to the next generation. The most widely spoken native languages in Bolivia are Aymara, Quechua and Guarani, but there are dozens of others that are considered at risk.
It is harder to find speakers as once dominated their language. But once we find these few people, just 2 or 3 speakers, there's already a great chance that we can strengthen the language. On that basis, we can develop them further.
Leaders from Bolivia's native groups have now joined forces with linguists to develop new ways of keeping these languages alive. They say the best way is to promote these languages at schools and universities. Another proposal that's being considered is to make it mandatory for public employees to speak at least one native language.
We have about 10 to 15 languages that can already be part of our education system. But regarding others, there are possibilities and potential, and it's from that point of view that we have to work.
Since President Evo Morales took office 10 years ago, he made it a government priority to protect the rights of Bolivia's indigenous population. He strengthened the constitution in favor of the indigenous and gave the native languages official status, an important milestone for the country.
When you learn a language, what you really learn is part of what we are, what makes us human. We are different versions of our language. So when we come together as humans, through language, we also come together at a neurological level.
Linguists say 4 of Bolivia's native languages are in danger of being lost, but their speakers are confident that with government support, it's still not too late to save a key part of Bolivia's cultural identity. Dmitry O'Donnell, teleSUR, La Paz.
More on these on our website, telesurtv.net/English. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.